Some people say that you're supposed to reinvent yourself every 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I say reinvent yourself whenever you're bored. I've been on a reinvention journey for just a few months now, and I'm ready to break down the 10 micro tips that I feel have been most effective on my reinvention journey. If you're ready to glow up, change everything, if you're over 40 and just feeling like I've been doing the same old thing, the same old way for way too long and it's time for a change, I'm so glad that you found this video. If you're ready to get started, let's go. My name is Dion, also known as the Face of Ambition, on all social media platforms, and I'm so glad that you have found this video. If this is your first time visiting this page, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you like the content that we're going to talk about today and that you decide to subscribe. If you like this video, please make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a video. And we're going to be talking about reinventing yourself today. I am personally a woman of a certain age. I'm over 40, and I really specialize on women that are professional or entrepreneurial women who are ready to reinvent themselves and glow up. And I have combined 10 tips that I'm going to share with you today, and not just tips like these big long things that take a long time to be able to cultivate. I'm talking about 10 micro tips, some of which you can implement as soon as today. So if you're ready, make sure that you get started. And I want to ask you a favor. When you're finished listening to this list of 10 tips that I have for you, if you have some additional tips, please make sure that you leave them in the comments section below. All right, let's get started. I want to make a disclaimer that just because you feel like you want to reinvent yourself does not mean that there's anything wrong with who you are. I'm the self-love, self-care guru, and I thoroughly believe that there's absolutely nothing wrong with who you are today. But if you have a desire to change, be the person that you've always wanted to be, if you no longer identify with the ways that you've been doing things and you're just ready for a change, this is the time to say, I'm on a reinvention journey. I'm ready to change the way that I dress, the way that I look, my posture, the way that I speak, the way that individuals relate to me. I'm ready to change up my friend group. You're ready to try new skills, learn something new. If that is something that interests you, then this is the time for you to reinvent yourself. I don't believe that anyone can tell you when it is, how often you should do it, or how often to evaluate it. But what I can tell you is that the very first step to understanding if you want to reinvent yourself is to do a SWOT analysis. I love a SWOT analysis because it helps you to be able to identify your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Doing this SWOT analysis on yourself really helps you to identify, like, what are the things that I'm really good at, that I'm passionate about? What opportunities do I have for growth and further development? What are some of the threats to my well-being, or some of the things that make me feel as if I want to change or reinvent myself at this time? Is it because I feel stuck? I feel like I've always done the same thing the same way. I'm tired of the way that I dress. I want to change my hair, or I want to change where I live, the space that I live in, the city that I live in. There's threats that hold you back. Sometimes they're environmental, or sometimes they're emotional. I self-sabotage. I have negative self-talk. Some of these things you'll be able to identify as a threat, and then your weaknesses. What are the things that you're just like, I've not done these things well and I know I could level up? This is what a SWOT analysis really helps you to do, and it really taps us into our first step, which is to set goals. In this reinvention journey, you have to identify who you want to be. If you don't know who you want to be, how you want to show up, what areas of your life you want to reinvent, you never know where you're going to land. So this is the time to define exactly what you want to change about your life. What does your reinvention journey look like? Is it that I want to wake up earlier and I want to go to the gym and I want to clean my house before I head off to work, and I want to stop at this pastry shop to pick up, croissants once a week? What is your goal? Is it to live a softer life? Is it to save more money? Is it to lose weight? Is it to find a spouse or a partner, or to move? What is the goal that you want to achieve in your reinvention journey? Once you've identified the reinvention journey, the rest of this list, I promise you, will be a breeze. Number 2 is self-reflection. This goes back to that SWOT analysis that I was telling you about. When you understand exactly who you are, why you operate the way that you do, some of even the past traumas that you've experienced that have made you the way that you are, then you can identify the things that are indicative to who you are and the things you want to change. I've heard people say so often, I've always done it this way, or girl, I'm always like that. If you're always late, if you're always tardy, if you're always on time, maybe it's time to switch it up. Maybe it's time to say, I want to show up fashionably late every once in a while, or I'm really trying to work on my timeliness habits. These are the types of things that happen with self-reflection. Like, what have you always done? Who have you always been? What is it that serves you, or what is it that no longer serves you? When I'm in a real reflective state, I like to do what's called shadow work. This is something that you can Google, you can find it on Pinterest, you can find these sheets absolutely anywhere. Shadow work asks you a series of questions that really help break down some of the past traumas that you've experienced, some of the mindsets that you hold on to. Some of us deal with mindsets that weren't even ours, that we've implemented because it's the way that I've seen my parents do it, or my spouse does it this way, or I've had to do it because I've been raising my children, my grandchildren. I didn't have children, and I've always had this freedom to never, schedule my time. These are the types of reflective things that shadow work allows you to unpack, and it really helps to change the mindset that you've had, or I really understand why you've lived with some of the traumas and mindsets that you have for so long. I highly suggest that you take time and do the work. It really helps you to reflect on where you've been, where you are, and where you would like to go. Number 3 is to learn continuously. As a coach, I definitely love this tip, because I feel as if we should all be forever learners. There's never come a time of, ultimate aha, like I absolutely have arrived. I know everything about everything that goes on in the world, in our politics, and with finance, and with the economy, and in the school zones. There's a space that you don't know about. This is the time to really understand what you don't know and to expand your knowledge. It could be something as small as just learning a new word every single day. In the Ambition Planner, we have a word of the day for that very reason. There is absolutely nothing more sexy than a woman with an expanded vocabulary. I love to hear women flex their words and be able to use them in a sentence thoroughly, and to be able to hold conversation with absolutely anyone. This does not mean that you have to read the Encyclopedia Britannica to be able to, to know how to speak. But just taking the initiative and learning a new word, learn a new language, learn a new skill. Pull up the Duolingo app on your phone and decide, I'm just going to spend a few moments a day before I end my day learning a new language. These types of things help you to really feel like you're inventing a new person. Feels like you're walking into a new state of being. Always learn, whatever it is. Read a new book. Decide, I'm going to join a book club, and I'm going to start reading more. Expanding your knowledge is the number one way I found to feel like you're leveling up. Number 5 is to build a support system. This is something that I feel so passionate about, because I know where I came from, and I know it was on the backs of other people who listened to me, who supported me, who mentored me, who were there for me whenever I needed them. I know that sometimes we get in this idea of like, I don't want to tell people my business, or somebody wouldn't understand, but finding a support system that is built just for you, just for what you're going through, 9 times out of 10, the people that are in that support system have been vetted. They've already identified, like, if this is a business growth support system, perhaps they've already been in this community for some time. So you joining them, they're going to be able to level you up, be able to give you certain ideas, help you expand the ideas that you already have. Even if it is that I'm newly divorced and I need someone to help me navigate this new life of being single. Find your tribe, sis. This is the time in your reinvention journey to identify, who are my people? I need support. We were never meant to do this life alone. Finding someone that you can talk to, that you can chit chat with, even if it's somebody online. Do you know how many individuals I have that just DM me funny things, light things, traumatic things that go on, and we've built our own support system within each other. It's completely possible. Your person is out there. What it takes is you taking the initiative and finding the support system that you need. Number 6 is to practice self-compassion. I started this video with saying that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the idea that I want to change the way that I look, that I dress, how people experience me. I just want to change my self-care habits. I want to read more. There's nothing wrong with you. If you want to change, do it in a compassionate way. And this kind of leans into even finding that support system, finding people that share your same energy, that are positive speakers, that always have something encouraging and positive to say. Those things really start rubbing off on you. Practicing self-compassion with yourself could look like you journaling daily. I was never a journaler, so this is one of the things that I've utilized in my reinvention journey, along with the rest of this list. But this is one that has really been a big part of what I do now, is that I am now someone that practices journaling. I've never been a big writer in like my journals and things like that. I know, even though I own a planner company, it was just never my thing. And whenever I even started the Ambition Planner, it was because I was never a paper planner person, but I always felt unorganized. I was reinventing myself. I didn't want to be unorganized. I didn't want to show up late. I didn't want to be unprepared, but I had to have compassion on myself to know it. Like, you know what, sis? Yes, this is who you were, but you don't have to stay there forever. Using kind words, putting things into practice that will help you to be able to show up as the self that you want to be is all that you need to do in this stage. I told you, I've only gotten through the first 6 steps, and these are all things that you can implement today. Saying kind words to yourself, practicing your affirmations in the morning. Find an affirmation app that you really like that you can listen to during your commute or while you're on the treadmill, while you're putting your makeup on in the morning. It elevates your mood and just makes you feel like, you know what, I am becoming the woman that God intended for me to be. Number 7 is to develop a routine. Now, you guys, you all know that I am the habit stacking, habit loving, planning queen. And so this falls directly in line with everything that I stand for. Because the thing of it is that you are only going to reach your goals if your goals align with your habits. And what I mean by that is that if your goal is to be able to lose 5 pounds in the next few weeks, your habit cannot be sitting on the couch eating potato chips. You have got to create the routine that supports your goals. So if you want to show up as that girl every single day, that means I need to wake up 15 minutes earlier so that I can put on makeup, so that I can apply the lashes, so that I can stop by the coffee shop and pick up my latte on the way to work, so that I can do my Pilates class first thing in the morning before I head out the door today, so that I have time for my family first thing in the morning. I can eat breakfast. You have to create the routine for the person that you're becoming. And the easiest way that I found to do this is to currently write out your current routine. What is my daily routine? I wake up, I brush my teeth, I do this. You know, that we have certain things that no one has to tell us to do. No one has to tell you to put on deodorant. Nobody has to tell you that you need to brush your teeth. These are things that you just do as a routine and a habit. But if you want to change some of those habits, if you want to actually add things to it, take what your current habit is and stack another habit on top of it, so that while I brush my teeth, my toothbrush goes off in 2 minutes, I'm actually listening to my affirmations. My affirmations are only going to last 2 minutes. Now I'm stacking that habit, because if it's not something that I've always done, but if it's something that I would like to implement, the easiest way to do that is to attach it to something that you know that you already do. This is something that I've learned from Atomic Habits. It's a book that I read at least 2 to 3 times a year, because I need that reminder of what it takes to create habits that stick. So if you're ready to reinvent yourself, one of the most important parts and components are going to be looking at the routines, the things that you do daily, the content that you take in, all of the routines that you have that don't serve you. It's time to identify what those are and cancel them. Number 8 is visualizing success. If you guys are new to this channel, you don't know how seriously I take visualization, but I absolutely love the practice of sitting still and actually visualizing the woman that you're going to become. I know that it sounds completely delusional, but honestly, this is the life that you have to live. You have to live the life that you have to be able to visualize the life that you want, or you'll never be able to get there. Taking the moment to actually visualize, what do I want to wear? How much money do I want in the bank? What is my next job going to look like? How do I clean my house? Do I hire a housekeeper to clean my home? Do I clean it on my own? And on Sundays, I turn on jazz music and I put on my favorite pajamas and I walk around the house and I clean my home. Visualizing those moments helps you to takes you back to a place, or takes you to a place you've never been. Lighting the candles, lighting the incense, vacuuming, dusting, cleaning off your counters, meal prepping for the week, making sure that you set your timer so that you know I'm going to only do this for a certain amount of time, and then I get to sit on the couch and enjoy my brunch, or I'm getting dressed to go to brunch with my friends, and we're going to go to this cute restaurant and I'm going to wear this cute dress. I mean, can't you see it? We use our visualization all the time. God has gifted us with imagination for a reason, and it's the thing that has left us as we've gotten older. This is the time to really tap into your imagination and start imagining what your higher self looks like, how she acts, what she wears, what her bank account looks like, what her routines are, how her husband talks to her, how her children behave. When you start visualizing it, you can see it. If you can see it, you can do it. This is another one of those tips that you can implement as soon as today. Number 9 may be the most important, but it is to stay flexible. The thing of it is that, baby, this is a journey. I wish that it was just a sprint and we can get there in 3.9 seconds and we could be the person that we just finished visualizing in no time. But the reality of it is that this is a journey. It's going to take us time to become the women that we desire, to achieve the goals that we would like to achieve. But if we have a plan, if we stick to it, and if we're flexible, we will get there. The thing is that plans change, lives change, goals change. Who I thought I wanted to be last month is not who I identify as any longer. Be flexible while you're on this journey. Make sure you're doing everything with compassion, lots of self-care and love. And finally, number 10 is to celebrate your progress. Every time you take one more step to becoming the woman that you want to become, celebrate that. In the higher self version of myself, I go spinning at least 3 times a week with my friends. If you hit that 3 times a week milestone just once, celebrate it. You deserve to say, I am getting closer to the woman that I desire to be. If it is that I want to have a clean, tidy home, I want it to be straightened. Every time I open the front door, I'm welcomed with a beautiful scent. If that beautiful scent hits your nose every day, it's time to celebrate that moment, because you're slowly, methodically becoming the woman that you most desire. Reinventing yourself doesn't mean that I have to change locations and I have to get another degree or any of those things. Although those are amazing ways to reinvent yourself, these are 10 micro ways that you can reinvent yourself as soon as today. This journey is open for you. If you feel in your heart that I just want to show up different, I just want to feel more confident, I want to enter a room and everyone stop, I want to get compliments whenever I walk into spaces, I want to feel like I can compliment myself and feel like, you know what, girl, you look good today, because you're putting your very best foot forward and that's not who you've been in the past. Today's the day that you decide that you want to change. There's nothing wrong with you, sis. You are still fearfully and wonderfully made. It's just that everything could be more better. And if you want to be more better, honey, today's the day that you level up. I am rooting for you. I am praying for you. I believe in you. I know the vision and the plans that God has for you. And if you've known that, you know what, God, I've not been living up to my full potential, today's the day that you can change. Start with that SWOT analysis. Do these 10 steps. Practice compassion, take the time, be flexible, celebrate your wins, and enjoy the journey. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you would love more of this content, you will find lots more of it on Instagram. I talk about this kind of stuff every single day. So if you're not following me on any of the social platforms, you can find me on Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at The Face of Ambition. But until next time, ladies, I hope that you have the most amazing life. I hope that you enjoy your reinvention journey. And if you have other reinvention tips that you would like to leave, make sure that you leave them in the comment section below, and I can't wait to see you on our next video.